The Heartless CEO. Written by Yeron G. Chapter 7. A bitter smile flashed on Nicole's lips upon hearing the conversation between her parents and Danica. She then laughed out loud, which surprised Soledad. She thought she was losing her mind. "Are you like that with your own child?" Nicole asked Soledad sarcastically. "I don't have a children, so don't ask me," Soledad replied, annoyed. Nicole laughed at her again. "That's why you and Danica got along. Maybe you also stole someone else's child, so you lost your job." She continued to tease the lady. Nicole feels anger and disappointment to her parents. They did not even worry about her, or even for their future grandchild. They do not value her feelings. They pity Danica more than they worry about her, and didn't think she might need them as well in her current situation. Instead of getting angry, Soledad smiled teasingly at the pitiful woman. She was offended by what she said, but she would not fight back. Danica strictly instructed not to hurt her because it might cause harm to the baby in his womb. "You fully deserve not to be blessed with a child. You don't even have a conscience." Nicole's eyes glared at the CCTV camera. Danica quickly turned off the screen monitor so as not to hear what else Nicole was saying. She won't let anything lower her self-confidence due to the fact her personality is lacking. "Are you okay?" Rita asked Danica when she caught her in a daze. She visited her in her office after she heard that she had confronted her brother yesterday. Danica blinked and calmed herself when she saw Rita. She didn't realize she had gotten in there, and fortunately, she already turned off the cell phone. "I talked to brother's secretary. He noticed you came out of this office with your eyes red." Danica smiled at her and told her to sit down. "If you were in my situation, would you be willing to take care of your beloved's child from not just another woman, but someone you considered a family member?" Rita's forehead furrowed, and it was on her face that she was not happy with what she heard. "Don't you tell me that Gold Digger is pregnant." Danica nodded sadly. "Your older brother only wants the child. I talked to Nicole and she didn't want to agree. I can't find her anymore. The last conversation we had was that she would only show the child if Steven would marry her. That bitch!" The thickness of her face. To imagine that my older brother would want to marry her. She'll regret it all when she forces herself on my family. Rita shuddered with anger for Nicole. Danica hugged her and hid how she truly felt at the moment. This is what she wants, for her to hate Nicole so much. For if the day comes when she comes to know the truth, she will not believe any of it. She'd be the only one everyone believes in. "I can't. But I also can't let a child matter less in case your older brother takes him. You know your brother can do everything, so I'm worried for the child. The baby will be the one to be most affected by this incident." "I don't understand you. My brother is lucky because you are the woman he chose to be with in his life. Don't worry. I know everything will be fine. I will help you so that the child would not know that you are not his real mother." "Thank you. I owe you a lot." She smiled in response to Rita as tears flowed from her eyes. Danica knew that Rita would keep her promise to her. She doesn't have to worry anymore, and she is sure that she'd stay by Steven's side. Their grandmother wouldn't be able to do anything because the most important thing is the hair of their family. Steven's temper became more aggressive because Nicole could not be found, even though he had already hired a detective. That woman is good at hiding, and it's hard to find her. He lost his appetite for sex. Even more, and his mind was focused on his future child. A picture of her was sent to him the other day. She looks like she's close to giving birth. There was also a letter of demand for marriage in the envelope. That is, if he wants to see the baby. Steven picked up the picture hidden in the drawer again and stared at the woman's face. It was just side view and located in the middle of the room. He was suddenly excited to see the child. Steven threw off the stuff on his table when he felt frustrated again. He did not know where to find her because the letter had no address. The only one stated there is that she will show up when she has given birth and if her wishes are obeyed. Gray just remained standing quietly in front of Steven. He did not know how to calm the young man, who was now going crazy with anger. He just let him throw away and break whatever he put his hand on. The papers were scattered on the floor. Gray sighed. The young man's secretary would have a lot of work to do because the papers were messed up in case he does find the woman he is looking for. Gray was sure that she would be miserable. Seeing the anger on his boss' face now, he probably wanted to strangle that woman if she was just in front of him. A month has passed, and Nicole became increasingly worried about her baby. She feels her pregnant is not normal. She still can't figure out how to escape in this hell. He also figured that Danica call to the maid had become more frequent. She pretended to be asleep and secretly listened to what they were talking about. She's about to give birth. Make sure the baby is healthy and do what I want to do. Danica reminds Soledad again. I will make it so that she died in childbirth and I will contact you first. Soledad replied to her while her eyes were staring at the sleeping woman. Is everything that's needed ready? Yes, ma'am. Soledad turned the cell phone camera to the equipment she would use. She was suddenly excited to see the baby. Nicole should give birth anytime soon, but she can't go there. Her plan had to be carried out without any suspecting anything. Nicole bit the inside of her lower lip to suppress its trembling. She suddenly felt cold when she confirmed that Danica would not let her leave. She wanted to cry, but she had to suppress it because Soledad was still in her room. Nicole observed her movements through her senses. She heard the door open and someone enter. I am going to remove the CCTV now, Gardo asked Soledad while looking up the ceiling. Yes, Ma'am Danica doesn't want to let any evidence, Soledad replied to the man. From what she sees, Nicole will give birth at any moment. She has also cleaned up suspicious things around. Gardo will pretend to be her husband. Nicole finally let go of the tears that she had been holding back when the couple was gone. I'm sorry, baby. In case I won't be able to see you, I hope your father will take good care of you. He won't leave you to the person who caused our separation. She caressed her stomach as she continued to cry silently. Inside the office, Steven was restless. He could not forget the month when Nicole would give birth. He feels something bad is going to happen. Danica also locked herself in her office. Soledad has not called again since she was confirmed earlier that Nicole was in labor. Nicole's tears and sweat mixed as she screamed. The pain she's feeling and the process was unbearable. The pain in her hips and abdomen was too much. Gardo, hurry up! Give me the lukewarm water! Soledad shouted at her companion. Even she was sweating as well. She didn't expect the child to be twins and Nicole seemed to have a hard time bringing out the other. Nicole screamed again because of the extreme pain when her stomach ached. She wanted to give up, but when she heard the cry of the first child, she felt that she had more strength again. Do it again! The child's head is about to come out. Soledad angrily commanded her. Nicole screamed and pushed her stomach ache again. She was out of breath. She couldn't help but drop her head on the pillow as the second child was born. The hell? There's another one! Soledad exclaimed when she saw another child. She panicked as Nicole is getting really weak. Gardo quickly obeyed Soledad's order to cook noodles for Nicole. She said she had to gain strength at least a little to release the third who did not want to follow in the release. Soledad quickly called Danica while waiting for another child to come out. What? She had twins? Danica asked in shock. Yes, ma'am. And the other one doesn't want to come out yet. Danica gritted her teeth, and she was annoyed at the fact that the twins had been formed in just one night that happened. Out of annoyance, she ended the call with Soledad after ordering her to make sure that the child were alive. She no longer asked about the gender. Soledad hurriedly dropped the cell phone and took the bowl of noodles from Gardo. Eat, so you'll have the strength to deliver the other child. She carelessly handed the bowl to her. Nicole's hands trembled as she eats. Even though she was feeling weak, she struggled to fight the fear she felt. Her eyes rolled and she noticed the cell phone just near her. Gardo is busy helping the lady clean her two children. She put that aside at the moment. She quickly reached for the cell phone and hid it under her pillow. She also powered it off so as not create noise if anyone called. Fortunately, Nicole has hidden the cell phone when her stomach ached again. This time, Gardo helped by pushing on her stomach to get the child out. It took a few minutes before the third child was born. She's not breathing. Soledad was confused when the child did not cry. She flipped the baby over and tapped her on the foot. But the child seemed to have difficulty breathing. What are we going to do? Gardo is also nervous. It was his first time seeing such a scenario, and he felt sorry for the child. The child can't die. Danica will surely make us pay for it. Nicole forced herself to open her eyes to see her child. She could hear the two whispering, so she was very worried about the child. Her baby is beautiful, but she looks weak. She could not see the faces of the other two because they were far away from her, but she knew one of them as a boy. Please, take my daughter to the hospital and save her life, Nicole pleads with the two weakly. The two turned to her at the same time. From her appearance right now, they know she won't last long when left unattended. But because that was really the plan, they just let her suffer alone. What matters to them now are the children. She can't move, so let her be. Gardo rebuked Soledad when she cut the umbilical cord and pulled out the child's placenta. Are you stupid? I would be blamed if she dies. Soledad scowled. You talk so much. Just take a picture and send it to Ma'am Danica already, so you can take the child to the hospital, Gardo said arrogantly. They are the same age, but they don't get along. Soledad quickly searched for her cell phone, but she could not find it. To be continued.